Time for the compound under-18 women's team gold medal matchup between Türkiye and the host nation Great Britain. And look, there's a few familiar faces in that crowd there.
You see Olympian Patrick Houston there, waving at the crowd.
Time for the athlete introductions now.
On target 2, representing Great Britain, Harry Bolton. And Patience Wood. And your line judge for this match is Natalia Rodina.
So Türkiye line up with a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old. Bayam Uva, Uksel and Hatice Kosa. Great Britain, with the crowd right behind them, have two 17-year-olds in Hallie Bolton and Sinead Byrne, and a 15-year-old in Patience Wood. And Lucy, we're going to forgive you because clearly you're going to be supporting this British team, aren't you?
I love these girls. I've actually coached them before during the lockdowns over Skype and things. So yeah, they're such a great team, and it's so good to see them here in a finals, in a gold medal match.
Yeah, quite a lot of experience on the British team as well. Third cap here for Haley Bolton. Medals with Byrne and Wood on the Euro Youth circuit, but it will be Turkey to get us underway.
Turkey and Great Britain were actually first and second in the seedings for the team rounds, and they managed to both get through to the gold medal match, which is unusual, actually getting a first and second seed into the gold medal match. But obviously this is why they're here.
Good grouping at the start for Turkey. A little high, but in the gold. You can see that wind. Much longer hold here, just trying to fight for the wind, and that looks like it's just cut the line for a 10. It's marked up for a measure, but 2 rotations through the teams. So we've had the first set of arrows from Türkiye, and we switch over to Great Britain.
Quite a long shot from Hallie there. It's good experience for her to shoot on this venue, because she will be here tomorrow for the gold medal match. Of course, with compound, it's cumulative score, so all of these points really do matter early on in the matches. You've got Patience Wood here. She was actually knocked out in the individual match today by Hallie Bolton, her teammate. And of course, they'll be supporting each other throughout this match.
Well, the youngster getting the best start for Great Britain. And we switch back over to Türkiye and Kosa. It's incredible grouping, isn't it? They're going all into the same spot.
They are. They've been such a strong team this week, and obviously they seeded first. And yeah, they've knocked out some incredibly good teams, Slovakia, and yeah, they've just had a really good week. And their last archer coming up, Uksel. She obviously, you'll recognise her. She was in the bronze medal match yesterday, well, this week in the mixed team. So she's had a really, really good week this week. surprise there.
What a start. This potentially is a 60 as well, 2 measures. So Great Britain really need to up their game here.
Hallie seems to be struggling to find the middle though. Ah! Even with a wobble. It's going to give us some confidence.
Well, all the arrows are grouped for each archer so far, but they're not quite in the middle. But that's a good thing, isn't
She's
it?
got 3 seconds. 2, 1. Yeah.
So it's the time on that third arrow,
It's the
wasn't it?
time. She was really struggling to hook her arrow. Yeah. There's not much you can do with 3 seconds.
So time being the issue there, of course, at the end, and that gives Türkiye a commanding lead. But that was the third arrow and the amount of time, and the wind's buffeting all of the archers. Türkiye handling it a little bit better. But the point I was trying to make, Lucy, is that the GB archers, 2 of them at least, have shot their arrows in the same place in the target. So their groupings individually are good. So now they need to just adjust their sights, right?
Yeah, completely. I think Sinead, both her arrows kind of went off to the left there, so she just needs to adjust her sight. But Hallie took just a little bit too much time in the team round there, and obviously left Patience with not enough time. And she's struggled to get her release aid on the D loop there, so just the time ticked away.
Well, they seem to be taking it fairly philosophically.
Well, there's not much you can do at this point, is there? Keep calm, carry on.
Yeah, and you're right. That's exactly what they have to do. But
They're on for a silver medal.
Well, this is it. But interesting to see whether Türkiye have started with a perfect. I think one of those 9s was cutting the line. Not so sure about the other one.
I think at this point they're gonna want those line cutters. It'd be great for them to start with a 60, and their teammate will be down at the target, counting their arrows, making sure that they get those line cutters called. We've got Coach James Mason there for GB. He's competed at many World Cups himself as a senior. It's nice to see him coaching up the kids now.
Well, as I say, the British team taking this one in their stride. A tricky start, and it's really, quite frankly, going to be very difficult to come back against any team when you miss an arrow in the first end. But even more so against the strong nation that is Türkiye. And for those of you that aren't used to us calling that country Türkiye, that is the new IOC approved name for the country. Second end, Great Britain trailing by 16 points. Shoot first.
So Patience teammates will be wanting to speed up their shots now to make sure they give Patience the full amount of allotted time. 20 seconds per arrow for each archer. You were right, she adjusted her sight. She's in the middle now. 10 for Sinead. That's a great recovery for Patience there after getting a miss in the last end because of the lack of time. Obviously Türkiye got a 59, so that arrow was scored out. That didn't look like the best shooting from the team from Türkiye there. I look a bit serious about this, but obviously they've got the lead.
They've got a huge buffer, haven't they? They had one of those 2 9s marked up in the first end to get a 59. And with a miss from Great Britain, like you say, Lucy, there's a big buffer there, and it has dampened the spirit somewhat in the British crowd.
I think the Brits just need to get behind their team now and yeah, just hope for the best. Hope that the girls, Patience will be left with 28 seconds here, so plenty of time for her last shot, unlike the end 1 of 4. Well, better end for the GB girls there, but it may not be enough, and obviously we've only got 2 more ends to go.
Türkiye back in the middle of the target.
The seconds are ticking down now. 36 seconds for 2 more shots.
A little bit of movement there at the end, finishing with an 8 for a 54. That keeps them in the lead. Gap closed ever so slightly. So Lucy, it's really interesting that you talked about time and all that kind of stuff, and that there's a notional 20 seconds per hour. It's not quite that. That's 120 seconds over all 6 hours. But my question to you is, how important does that make the order? And when you look at the British team, you've got the 15-year-old, the youngest, going third and last. So they must work on the order.
Yeah, you want the archers that are the sort of slower archers to go first or in the middle. People that may be more nervous go in the middle or first, and the people that can that have a faster shot, that can kind of deal with the pressure, you tend to put them at the end. I mean, Patience has been very strong this whole time, and she's mentally pretty good. And obviously, these juniors shoot their youth championships here on this orangery, so they'll be used to this field. And yeah, obviously, Patience is a faster shooter than the other 2. But just not fast enough if you're only given 3 seconds left.
I mean, she was put in an impossible situation in the first end, but the Iceland team there in strong support. They've been packed out here, as you say, at the Orangery at Lilleshall National Sports Centre. The home of industry, Telford. Well, it's going to need an industrious performance from Great Britain to get themselves back into this one on home soil. Türkiye looking very strong indeed. Provisionally a 113, playing a 99 at the halfway stage. Well, there's a little delay here, but looks like everything has been resolved. Great Britain on the shooting line, and it will be Bolton to go first in this third end.
So Hallie, looked like she was shooting a hinge release there. She clicked her safety. So yeah, the archers that tend to shoot hinges, they tend to be put first, because they're just generally maybe a little bit slower on the shots. Girls are doing much, much better. They're getting into their stride now. Coach Stuart Taylor there. He's been on senior team as well.
Very impressed by Wood at 15 years old. She looks very solid indeed.
Yeah, she's a really she's one of the ones to watch. I think she's got youth on her side. Expect many things from her.
9.
Well, Kosher there high into the 9. As you can see, Türkiye have a bit of a buffer here from that miss in the first end.
It does look pretty windy out there today, even though it's muggy. So, you know, that will kind of lift the arrows as well. So that's something to be mindful of. You can see the flags in the background fluttering around. So that's going to push your arrows. Unless you're the team from Türkiye, of course.
Yeah, on the shooting line, the wind earlier on was blowing straight in the faces of the archers. But the thing is, it's been changeable all week.
Yeah, these archers have had a lot to contend with. They've had, you know, sort of extreme heat and rain and just trying to prepare for that. I noticed that the girls were they don't like shooting in their waterproofs, so they were getting quite cold during the qualification rounds. The coaches were telling them to put on their coats.
9.
I didn't look too happy with that, Sinead Byrne, but she's also another one with great form, looks really solid and calm at full draw.
Yeah, this whole team, I mean, considering they're all under 18, this is going to be such an experience for them. If they can take this forward, especially watching them coming up into the under 21s. Oh, she's only got 5 seconds. Ah, she does it. There we go. Yeah, these experiences now as a kid are going to be amazing for your future.
Well, 155, the target set from Great Britain after 3 ends. Real focus from Kosher. They know that they can really hammer this one down, give themselves a bit of an easy ride in the 4th end.
It really does help when your teammates' arrows are in the middle. It gives you something to aim for. You can see sort of a black hole in the middle. So if your teammates are popping them in there, it's much easier to follow. With only 4 seconds left, she does it. Another great end from Türkiye.
Well, the scoreline says it all. You can do the maths. But it's a really, really strong performance from Türkiye, and it has quietened down that, well, earlier much more vibrant British set of fans. Bit of support going on, moral support by the looks of things on the Türkiye team.
It's just a cheeky head stroke. That's the fun thing about being a young girl. These will be bonds for life. These girls will remember these matches forever.
We'll take a look back over the form of the athletes. That is the youngest member of the British team, Patience Wood. Fine form, and as Lucy says, one to look out for the future, but ones to look out for right now are this team from Türkiye, looking very relaxed, very solid, and the conveyor belt of top quality archers continues from this strong nation.
They really have a very good program in place. They're constantly, I mean, considering these are the under 18s, these girls will be going through up into the under 21s and then to seniors. Yeah, it's amazing that they're getting them through so young.
Have you been out to that famous, arguably the oldest archery club in the world, Vakfi in Istanbul?
That's a fun fact. I didn't know it was the oldest, but yes, it was very windy.
I said arguably. there is some debate over it, but Turkish people will tell you that it is the oldest archery centre in the world. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, they've really got a very good funding behind them as well.
Well, Great Britain have got the crowd behind them. This is a big ask, you have to say, but they want to put down the best possible score they can. Patrick Houston and Ella Gibson in that crowd. Bolton on the line for the fourth and final end.
6 arrows to go, 5 arrows left. Hope for some more 10s. This puts a little bit more pressure on the other two. There you go, nice X. So that will, it's just still gonna keep the pressure on for the girls because they're gonna want to get as many 10s as possible in this round. It's line cutter, so James Mason will have to get the judge to check that one.
Have to stay focused, the Turkish team here. As you can see, they've almost got an hour, well, certainly an hour and a bit in hand.
They've done incredibly well. How many? They've had 2 ends of 59. An end of
54 was the second, and they dropped some points.
Well, this will help the British team out. Line cutters. So solid. Obviously, she was here. Yes. Well, she's been shooting with her teammate, who we'll see coming up later, Kurja, in the mixed team.
So final 3 hours from Great Britain in this gold medal match.
Hallie will have to put this match behind her for her gold medal match tomorrow. Hopefully she can use this to her advantage and just know the wind and what the finals feel like. "13 seconds on the clock for the last arrow. Patience Wood of Great Britain.
Another close one, drifting
1
off into the 8 as
second.
well. So 2:09 for Great Britain.
They just struggle with time today. Every girl seemed to take a little bit too much time on their shots.
And this one could be done with this very first arrow. Potentially, if it's just a 9.
9 to win.
Enough. Yeah, so it's...
She's won the match. So with 2 arrows to go, Türkiye have taken the gold medal.
Important to finish this one off. They want the best score they've scored this week in the competition. Not quite going to make that. They got a 2:29 against Slovakia in the semi-finals. 2:28 available for them. It's more than enough for the gold medal. As Emma Yüksel, the 16-year-old, finishes things off for Turkey. Going high into the 8, but like I say, more than enough, and Türkiye, dominant throughout the match, have taken the gold in the under-18 compound women's team competition here at the 2022 European Youth Championships.